Wow, your belly's full like mine. We just chowed down on crabs for lunch. The neighbor right behind the fence over here brought crabs over again, and we just chowed down. And we had a food fight. Food fight. Well, the sun's coming up over here right now, and I have been busy. I had the light bulb out here. I had to fight a few bugs, but I got another coat of paint on the inside, and it's nowhere near done because it's soaking it up. And I got a lot of cutting in and caulking stuff to do, but I want to get some base coats in, so I got another coat of paint in it. Yeah, but I still got some work I need to do around those bulkheads, so I'm staying away from them so I can finish those little spots, and then I'll cut all that in and touch it up. So we're working on capping the bow right now. I made all these pieces in here, and we are epoxying them in and copper nailing them in. Got it marked here, and then there's gonna be an area right here where my hatch door is gonna go. All right, so that's gonna be a matter of this all curing. Then I'll come through here and I'll dress all this up, shape all this up, put another coat, start working all of this, filling over where we just put nails through, touching up, and then we'll start working final coats. This has got a hatch door going in it. I've got marked here 2 marks where a plank is, 2 marks where a plank is on both sides. That hatch, it's a 14 by 14. It's like a 14 and a half by 14 and 5/8. And it's going up there. It's gonna be a regular sealed plastic hatch door like for a standard boat. It's going up there, and then I've got a bow light that's going in up here also off of a standard boat. So, and the stern light as well. There it is. Maybe it'll turn. Yeah, it's running. There it goes. There it went. There it is. Yeah, it got down there into the sunlight now. So yesterday I had got this capped off, and this is why I hurry and try to paint everything or get resin over everything each time, just in case the rain comes. But yesterday we got this sealed and on. I put supports all across up here in the bow, across right here, and I got pencil marks where my supports are, because I need to know, and I don't want to paint over those pencil marks, because I have it on order and it'll be in a few days, a 14.5 by 14 5/8 hatch right here, but I don't know the exact size of the opening, so I'll have to cut it later. And then this here is just an additional support up here, somebody standing or anything, and then it gets so small here in the front by the time the material's here, there's not much left. You see that flat area right there in front of the seat mount? Well, this seat here is mounted on where the old diesel used to be mounted, and that's going to work out great with this size seat and with this dash turned up a little bit like this, and it's coming along really nice. There's some other features that's going to go in that dash and on the boat that I'm excited to show you in the upcoming videos in the next days, but this boat is not real far away from being in the water. Well, I just got rained out. Barely got that done without all of it turning soaking wet, but it's nailed on. I know it don't look like much now, but it will look like something. You know, right now it's just an old chunk of coal, but it's gonna be a diamond someday. So I have the little small black outboard, the little, let me go over here, I'll show you a picture of it. I have this little outboard right here. It's a little air-cooled outboard motor right here. 5 horsepower, 4 cycle. And I'm gonna put that on the back of my boat. It doesn't even use a water pump. And it's a lot shorter shaft. So I'll show you what'll be happening for that shorter shaft to get it down low enough to what I need for it to be effective on that boat. So this is a kicker motor bracket right here. This bracket is adjustable, of course, which I don't have a motor on it to counteract the springs right now, so they're pretty tough because it helps you lift the motor as well. But I need to get it down just a little bit lower so that prop will clear right underneath here where this trim tab is, and get in some good clean water so you get a good thrust. So I've got multiple ways that I can gain those few extra inches to lower it down. Number one is I can lower this stainless steel plate down to the bottom right here. There's about 2.5 inches right there. Then the kicker motor bracket itself, there's about 3 inches below right here that it could be moved down, probably 2 inches of that. So there's another 2 inches if I need to gain it right there. Drill 4 holes, move it down. Then the last place is right here. Once again, 4 more bolts on this right here. Now this is not the original plate right here on this. The original was the plastic, and it was just a little bit too small for that Yamaha, so I made this one. And I have the original one that bolts back on here, and it's down lower right here as well. So there's a couple inches I can gain there again. So between the 3, I could get it down low enough, but honestly, there's several inches right here. You look at that. So honestly, just putting the original one back on alone may do it. The next beautiful thing about putting that 4-stroke versus the 2-stroke is I don't have to have a separate jerry can for carrying the fuel, because I can burn it off the fuel in the boat. So I bought a secondary pickup tube that has a check valve in it that's made just for these boat fuel tanks. And there is a secondary hole in the tank there that it screws right into. So that means that I can bring fuel up to this motor that will run off the same fuel as the boat without having to have a jerry can and not have to worry about none of that, and not having to worry about salt water running through this motor because it is an air-cooled engine. So the only time that I would really need this is if we had some kind of breakdown out there on the water and we need to troll in slowly and get in. Well, it's a beautiful Saturday morning. Got the outboard brought over here, just sitting there loose right now. It's not clamped down tight or nothing. Got that seat from Lonnie yesterday. Thank you, Lonnie, very much for that. Bought that seat from him that he had imported from the US before for a project that he ended up not needing the seat. Got rid of that heavy behemoth right there. Lighten that up. Got a cushion now. Got lucky. The mount underneath there had this had like 6 bolts, or 6 or 8 bolts in it. Big pattern, but there was 4 holes in tighter, and those 4 holes happen to match right up with the bolt pattern to the seat. You got Miss Melinda here.
Good morning.
When you're working on that, you're trying to get your dimensions down and keep it all level looking. That way I get a good. So I'm slowly building in my little console right there. I just cut this side panel right here. It's gonna come back on it. Now it's not cut exact yet. I'm gonna put it up there and dry fit it. And this is not the exact shape. This is just a rough end here right now. And then I've got just enough material here to make one for the opposite side once I get it all laid out. And I'll continue to show you more what I'm doing as I get it all up here. I got my piece made on one side of the boat, and now I'm going to use it. I checked it, and it is the same on both sides. So that's where I'm at on that. I just got this dash kind of getting it together. These panels are just sitting here. I haven't bonded them in yet. I've got them shaped up. Trying to make me a little place if I want to lay something down up there at the top, I can. If there's blowing rain, it kind of shear up over to kind of like a windshield, you know. Blowing rain, it'll angle up. And, you know, if you're moving pretty good, it should kind of make a little wind deflection up over the top of you right there. Not completely, but it'll help. And then, like I say, these are just loose here right now. I am going to leave this lip up like this. This is on purpose because I want a little shelf like here. And I'll probably take and put some trim along this, which will stiffen it. This is a thicker piece than this is. Whew, it's gonna be a hot one today. I got overheated yesterday. I had to stop. I mean, I got overheated. I know I was overheated, but I was just so dedicated to trying to get this done out here. And boy, I went upstairs slowly and took me a shower, and then I sit down there in the chair in the living room and just literally, I swear it felt like seconds. I just conked out. My body was so exhausted from the heat. And we had guests here, and we had a guy bringing me a part here and all. I'm like, oh my God, I felt so bad. Apparently one of our friends came too, and I didn't even know he was here. Melinda was wondering what happened to him. Everybody was, but boy, I had this tarp, and it was providing shade, but it was just heat radiating off of it too. Man, it was hot. So I'm out here early this morning, trying to work on this boat before it gets too hot, because I'm on a mission to finish up some stuff. So I just now routed out this piece of wood, and I'm having to work alone here right now. It's Sunday morning. Let me show you what I did. So I needed to router this, and it's going on the front of my dash across right up there. And I'm like, man, I don't have like a router table and this little skinny piece of wood, and I'm running single-handed. So I flipped my router over and I made a fence right there on it and set the bit. And then, you know, one way that this spins, it wants to kick, and the other way it doesn't, it wants to suck it in. So I found the side that sucked in, and I started the piece of wood, just working it slowly and holding the trigger down there at the same time, and just do 3-4 inches at a time and re-grip. And I got it. There it is. It's pretty darn easy. And so I got the piece of wood that I want now. Let's see how it fits. So it's going right onto this 1/2 inch here, and it's looking like it's fitting really nice. There it is. So this is epoxy, and I need to come through and fill some little gaps. This stuff was kind of really hot too, and when it's hot it makes it run even more. And I'll go through here and fill these little gaps, because I don't want where water can go down in those little places there. Then this, I'll get a good sanding, and then this here, all of this little rised up spot is so I can lay stuff out here, and you don't have to worry about it going off the side and bloop. bloop, bloop, right into the water. So I wanted that, but then I don't want the whole water either. So I think I'll just make me out some little notches right here. And that way any water will run off of one side according to how the boat's leaning, one side or the other out the corner right there. So I've been here making another piece to cap off the front of this little dash or console, you might want to call it. And I've been doing a lot of shaping on this, a lot of profiles all the way around. Lots of profiles all the way around so that it'll be able to set in, get it right. It'll be able to set in, then I'll epoxy this all in. So you won't see those little gaps, and I'll epoxy and copper nail it in. And that'll give me support. Once again, it's rounded in the front, it's rounded in the back, so you don't get no accidents there. And then with it squared, it kind of limited my access up in here, if you want to reach in there, wipe that out or do anything. But I took and cut a flat on the back right there, an angle. Yeah, see right there. So it's got a 45-degree angle, and I stopped it here on each end, just from the end. I like that look of it tapering out, and I got to put a little copper nail in right in there, and that'll give me a little bit more meat in that very end to stick a little copper nail. Plus it's going to be held together with epoxy also. So get it all down on there, and I think it's going to be pretty nice. So I have been busy here making these pieces. I got this piece on, I got this piece, I got the dash marked out right here where it's going to go in. I had scrap left off of this that was able to make me 2 pieces. The other one's laying here somewhere. Here it is. It was able to make me 2 pieces for going in here, and it had that router profile, which is going to work out great for the strength that I want. And I said I had some square stock of this that hadn't been routed, but I like having that round edge in there because there's a pocket and all right here, and if my hand slides by that or anything, I want to have that round radius, not a sharp edge, and paint gets chipped real easy on sharp edges and stuff. So I'm going to screw these 2 pieces in temporary from the outside, get them lined up, and then I'm going to go ahead and temporarily put some screws up here in this original dash that I made with the steering and the light switches and the pocket and all. And then this little dash, let me see if I can get it in view here. This little dash, I made a pocket hole here before, and where that's going to be up in here, I'm going to make a little shelf inside right there in a partition. When I used this before in my old dash, let me say that again. Boy, that thing's tough to turn. Oh. In my old dash, where I had that pocket hole, the whole console part, there was just a flat shelf inside there, and the problem is I put something in and it would end up getting shuffled over or just tossed over in the waves and all, and slide all back in behind where the steering and the switches were. And I said, no, when I rebuild, I'm going to make sure to put a divider there, so it's like a glove box, and it's just got that one deep little hole that everything can't get shuffled over behind the steering and the other stuff. And I'm trying to reach down deep in there with my arm, find my things. So that time I'm going to make that. I'll probably make it at a very slight slope going down, so everything always wants to stay away from the edge of the hole, but not too much. I don't want it where everything piles down in the bottom, in the back. So I'll engineer that up with some scrap wood. And then my fuel cell, I don't know what's going to happen with my fuel cell down here, but I had actually wanted to put that fuel cell down here, but I think I'm going to be fuel line limited, and I don't want to get the fuel too far away from the motor. So I don't have that much space to move it that far forward. So we'll see how we're going to do that, but I'm wanting to keep as much weight forward. That was another reason I wanted to rebuild this console. Is the original console, they had built this front part of the dash back 3-4 inches or so back away from the bamboo outriggers, and it left a funny little gap there right where this was too. So instead of this piece ending here, it ended way back here, and it was an odd place that stuff got jammed down in all the time and all. And so I said, you know, when I re-engineer this, I'm going to move all that forward. So that's exactly what I've done. But I'm happy with it. I'm going to get these screws in right here and move on. No screws. There she is right there. What do you think? What do you think? Do you like it? Man. Very nice. Now she's still in the rough. She's not done, but I have done a lot of things getting all these shaped in right here and on the other side. The support wood's in. I got everything bonded together, and these last ones I just put marine epoxy. They're still curing right now, and I'll need to smooth out a little bit of epoxy here in just a little bit. Of course, I got sanding work and stuff to do, but I began a little bit of sanding work, but I like the profiles on it. Everything's got curves, and underneath here put a little profile out to the end. And my remote is going to bolt perfect. Oh boy, that's an odd one. So my remote is going to bolt right up, right on these two here. Look at that, man. Couldn't ask for any better. Before, on the old one, it was just right in the plywood only, 1/4-inch plywood. There wasn't any kind of reinforcement. So now it's going to be Cadillacing. But there it is. Of course, it will look totally different once it's all sanded and painted and matched in. And I'll probably put some kind of pinstripes or graphics up on the side right here is what my plans are. Of course, besides a lot of sanding and painting, before I do that, this pocket right here, I want to get in there and build a shelf in behind there with a partition on the side of it, so I can set things down in here. I'll bring it all the way to this bottom lip right here, so I can set stuff down in there, cell phone, whatever. My drone will fit in there, keep it in the dry, but it can't slide and fall out over here. And also, I've got some scraps here around. It looks like a good candidate there, and around here that I can build all that out of.